Peace, peace, peace. It is 4/10, December 3rd, 2024. What it do, what it do, what it do. Okay. Let's go right here. Just logging on to my computer. What's up, buddy? What's up? Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. Joseph dreams. This is coming from Genesis 37, 5 through 11. Joseph had two prophetic dreams that further fueled his brother anger. Dream 1, Joseph saw himself and his brothers binding sheaves of grain in the field. In the dream, his brother's sheaves bowed to his sheaf. Dream 2, he saw the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowing to him, symbolizing his family bowing before him. When Joseph shared these dreams, his brothers interpreted them as Joseph aspiring to rule over them, which intensified their hatred. Even Jacob, through perplexed, kept these dreams in mind. Joseph's dreams were God's way of revealing a future plan. Through their timing and his delivery added to family strife. This reminds us that discernment is important when sharing what God reveals. The brothers' betrayal. Genesis 37, 12 through 28. Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers, who were tending sheep near Shem. When they saw Joseph approaching, they conspired to kill him, mockingly calling him the dreamer. Reuben's intervention. Reuben, the eldest, persuaded them not to kill Joseph outright, but to throw him into a stern, secretly planning to rescue him later. Selling Joseph. While Reuben was away, the brothers decided to sell Joseph to a caravan of Ishmaelites heading to Egypt. They sold him for 20 pieces of silver. Betrayal often stems for unsolved jealousy and anger. However, in human sinfulness, God's plans cannot be thwarted. My baby. Yeah. Hey, baby.
You gotta change that battery today when you leave.
Okay, I'm on live. The deception of Jacob, Genesis 37:29-36. To cover their tracks, the brothers dipped Joseph's coat in goat's blood and presented it to Jacob, making him believe a wild animal had killed Joseph. Devastated, Jacob mourned deeply, refusing to be confronted. Meanwhile, Joseph was taken to Egypt and sold to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. While Jacob's grief was profound, this chapter closes with hope. Joseph's journey to Egypt was the beginning of God's plan to save his family and many others during a future famine.
What Onyx said. Come on, Curtis. Curtis. Come on. And take Princess use the bathroom. Princess, what are you doing?
She's stretching. Go ahead, Princess. Go.
Princess. You know you can't hold it. Let's go. Where Onyx? Come on, Onyx. Come on, Pete. Come on, Curtis. Come on, Onyx.
I do want to read this too. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay, let me go into this right quick. Okay. Post-traumatic stress disorder. What is post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD? Is it natural to feel afraid during and after traumatic situations? Fear is a part of the body's fight or flight response, which helps us avoid or respond to potential danger. People may experience a range of reactions after trauma, and most will recover from the symptoms over time. Those who continue to experience symptoms may be diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. Who develops PTSD? Anyone can develop PTSD at any age. This includes combat veterans and people who have experienced or witnessed a physical or sexual assault, abuse, an accident or disaster, a terror attack, or other serious events. People who have PTSD may feel stressed or frightened, even when they are no longer in danger. Not everyone with PTSD has been through a dangerous event. Sometimes learning that a relative or close friend experienced trauma can cause PTSD. About 6 of every 100 people will experience PTSD at some point in their lifetime, according to the National Center of PTSD, a U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs probe. Women are more likely than men to develop PTSD. Certain aspects of the traumatic event and biological factors, such as genes, may make some people more likely to develop PTSD. What are the symptoms of PTSD? Symptoms of PTSD usually begin with 3 months of traumatic event, but they sometimes emerge later. To meet the criteria for PTSD, a person must have symptoms for longer than 1 month, and the symptoms must be severe enough to interfere with aspects of daily life, such as relationships or work. The symptoms also must be unrelated to medication, substance use, or illness. The course of the disorder varies. Although some people recover within 6 months, others have symptoms that last for 1 year or longer. People with PTSD often have co-occurring conditions such as depression, substance use, or excuse me. Substance use or one or more. Good, Curtis. One or more anxiety disorders. After a dangerous event, it is natural to have some symptoms. For example, some people may feel detached from the experience as though they are observing things as an outsider rather than experiencing them. And mental health professionals such as psychiatrists, sociologist, or clinical social worker can determine whether symptoms meet the criteria for PTSD. PTSD in the funeral industry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just my sinuses. The funeral industry is a noble but emotional taxing profession. Funeral directors and staff often witness profound grief, handle sensitive situations, and confront mortality daily. Over time, the cumulative exposure to these stressors could lead to post-traumatic stress disorder or related symptoms. Understanding PTSD in the funeral home context is critical for maintaining mental health and providing effective care to grieving families. How PTSD manifests in funeral professionals. Emotional overload, constantly providing emotional support to grieving families, can drain one's emotional reserves, leading to compassion fatigue and burnout. Secondary trauma. Funeral professionals often hear traumatic stories from families or work with deceased individuals who have died in distressing circumstances that can lead to secondary trauma, where the professional internalize the pain of others. Cumulative stress. Unlike one traumatic event, the funeral industry stress is often cumulative. The constant exposure to death and loss can slowly erode mental well-being. Workplace triggers. Certain tasks can prepare bodies for viewing and after violent deaths or consoling devastated families can serve as triggers for PTSD symptoms. Risk factors for PTSD in the funeral industry. High exposure to traumatic deaths, accidents, suicides, homicides, and infant deaths are particularly challenging cases that can leave lasting impressions. Personal grief. If a funeral director is dealing with their own unresolved grief, it may intensify their reaction to the grief of others. Lack of support. A culture that discourages discussing emotions or seeking help can lead to isolation and unaddressed trauma. Perfectionism and high expectations. Funeral directors often feel immense pressure to ensure every detail is perfect, adding to their stress. These are some of the signs of PTSD in funeral professionals. Emotional detachment or inability to empathize, chronic fatigue and physical alignments with no clear cause, irritability or outbursts of anger, difficult maintaining personal relationships, reluctant to perform certain tasks or deal with specific types of deaths, increase of use of alcohol or other substance to cope. These are some of the strategies to prevent and manage PTSD. Number one is prioritize self-care, practice mindfulness and relaxation techniques, take regular breaks during the day to rest emotionally, maintain a healthy diet, exercise, sleep routine. Number two, seek professional support. Consider therapy or counseling to process difficult experiences. Join support groups with other funeral professionals to share experiences and coping strategies. Number three, establish boundaries. Learn to say no when overwhelmed. Set clear work-life boundaries to ensure downtime is restorative. Number 4, fostering a support work environment. Encourage open conversation about mental health, providing training for staff, and recognizing and addressing emotional stress. Create an atmosphere where seeking help is normalized and supported. Debriefing after difficult cases. Implement team debriefing sessions after particular traumatic cases to process emotion and provide mutual support. Number 6, develop resilience through meaning. Reflect on the positive impact your work has on families. Find purpose in providing compassionate care even in challenging situations. The role of leadership in addressing PTSD. Funeral home leaders have a responsibility to prioritize the mental health of their staff. This includes providing access to mental health resources, reducing stigma around seeking help, monitoring workload to prevent burnout, encouraging vacation time and self-care. It is hope for the funeral professionals. While the funeral industry is challenging, it's also deeply rewarding. Recognizing and addressing PTSD in a way to sustain your career and continue providing exceptional care. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It's a step towards resilience and long-term well-being. Your role as a funeral professional is invaluable. You walk alongside people in the darkest moments, offering compassion and dignity. Taking care of your own emotional health ensures you can continue to serve others with strength, empathy, and grace. This was a segment on PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorders. I started off reading this book from the National Institute of Mental Health. And he gave me some insight about PTSD, and it's amazing that you don't have to necessarily go to war. You just have to deal with a traumatic event. And in my industry, the funeral industry, I deal with death every day. I see it every day. I touch it every day. I smell it, and it's a tough industry to be in mentally. Yeah, it's tough mentally, and I'm grateful to have a mindset that I can do this job. I will do this job. I take this industry very serious. This is my profession. You know, and it's teaching me about life. You know. It's self-care. Yeah. I think I got something I wrote about self-care. Let me just pull that up for you. I just gotta find it real quick. Yep, there you go. I found it. I found it. Make sure y'all drink out water. Water is key, y'all. Water, tea. Today I'll probably drink some. What kind of juice I'm gonna drink today? I don't know. I'm gonna drink some kind of good juice. Here you go. Self-care for funeral professionals. Prioritizing well-being in a demanding field. Working in the funeral industry is a calling that requires empathy, compassion, and resilience. However, constantly providing care for others can take a toll on your physical, emotional, and mental health. Practicing intentional self-care is essential to maintain balance, avoiding burnout, and continue to serve grieving families effectively. Why self-care matters in the funeral profession? Give me 1 second, y'all. Why self-care matters in the funeral profession. Emotional demands, regular exposure to grief, trauma, and loss could lead to compassion, fatigue, and emotional exhaustion. Self-care replenishes emotional reserves. Physical stress, long hours, irregular schedules, and physical demanding tasks could wear on the body. Prioritizing rest and health ensures sustained energy. Number 3, mental clarity. The need for precision and focus in funeral service requires a clear mind. Self-care helps reduce stress and improve cognitive function. Number 4, sustaining compassion. Caring for yourself enables you to care for others with genuine empathy and strength. Effective self-care practices. Physical health. Maintain a balanced diet. Eat nutritious. I'm sorry, it's kind of early, but it's all right. Eat nutritious meals that include plenty of fruits, vegetables, lean protein, and whole grains. Avoid excess caffeine or sugary snacks, which can lead to energy crashes. One of my tips would be prep healthy snacks for long days. Exercise regularly. Physical activity relieves stress and boosts mood. Even a 20-minute walk can make a difference. Consider doing yoga, stretching exercises to alleviate physical tension. Prioritize sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night. Set a bedtime routine to help your body wind down. And if you don't have to do 7 to 8, you could do about 4 to 5 or 6. No, I said 5 to 6. All depending on who you are. And again, I talk about my industry, but this could relate to anybody's industry. Before I forget, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the like button, the thumbs up, heart. Doesn't matter. It's all love. So thank y'all for subscribing already. Tapping in. Talking about self-care now. Earlier I was talking about PTSD. So, yep. As you set your bedtime, try to use calming music or guided meditation to improve your sleep quality. Number 2 is emotional care. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness techniques like breathing, meditation, or journaling can help process emotions and reduce stress. Exercise. Spend 5 to 10 minutes daily focusing on breath or repeating a calm mantra. I am peaceful. I am peaceful. I am love. I am gentle. I am caring. I am compassion. Y'all just set your mind up. Set your mind up. Number 3, mental wellness. Schedule regular breaks during the day. Even if it's just a few minutes to step outside or close your eyes. Pursue hobbies. Engage in activities outside of work that bring you joy. Whether it's reading, painting, gardening, or playing an instrument. Limit exposures to stressors. Avoid overexposing yourself to emotional draining content such as news or social media when you need mental clarity. I took myself off Instagram. No, Instagram I was scrolling too much. I said, nah, let me take myself off for a minute. It's okay to disconnect, to reconnect. Number 4, social support.
Let's go outside. Come on.
Connect with others. Spend time with family or friends who uplift and energize you. Community provides a vital source of encouragement. Join support groups. Connect with other funeral professionals who understand the unique challenges of your role. Spiritual renewal. Engage in spiritual practices. Prayer, meditation, or reading scripture can provide peace and perspective. Reflect on a passage that brings you comfort. Psalms 23, Matthew 11:28 through 30. Any scriptures from the Quran. Something that will bring you self-fulfillment. Find purpose in your work. Remember the positive impact you have on families. Reflect on the value of your role as a source of comfort during difficult times. Create a self-care routine. Number 1, schedule it. Treat self-care like any other important appointment. Block time on your calendar for rest, exercise, or reflection. Start small. Incorporate 1 or 2 self-care practices at a time. Build gradually to avoid feeling overwhelmed. Number 3, monitor your well-being. Regularly assess how you are feeling physically, emotionally, and mentally. Adjust your routine as needed. These may be some signs that you may need some more self-care. Persistent fatigue or lack of energy, difficult concentrating or making decisions, emotionally numbness or irritability, physical symptoms like headaches or stomach issues, feeling disconnected from family, friends, or your work. If these signs are present, it's time to reevaluate your self-care practices and seek support if needed. I'm gonna leave y'all with some encouraging words to my funeral professionals out there, and just my professionals out there. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, culinary, nursing, real estate, banking, finances. Doesn't matter what line of industry you're in. Just remember, self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. By nurturing your own well-being, you are better equipped to serve families with compassion, dignity, and excellence. Your work is invaluable, but so are you. Take the time to recharge and reflect so you can continue making a difference in the lives of others. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first. Well, that's all the time I have for y'all today. I'll get back on here later on. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and follow Tru Hicks on YouTube. Go ahead and follow Dionne's Life on YouTube. She has an amazing page. She's very encouraging. Yes, she's my wife. However, she's very encouraging. I stand by her. She stands by me. Her videos are authentic. It's real. And the real ones to see what's up. We don't do it for views. We just do it for what we need to do, what God tells us to do. On that note, all praises to Allah for entering our lives. And I'm gonna just read something from a book. Then I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna go to stretch today again and go to practice. And from there, I got work today too, so got a few things to do for the day, to be out and about. So good thing is it's about to be 5 o'clock, so I'm pretty good. I did a lot of things so far. So, but yeah, I'm going back into this book, The Power of Discipline: How to Use Self-Control and Mental Toughness to Achieve Your Goals. So it was chapter 10. That's what I'm reading right there. Zen philosophy and goal attainment. Wouldn't it be brilliant if you were able to cope with all life major challenges and keep moving forward with a smile on your face? Wouldn't you like to live a life free from anxiety we experience when things don't work out according to plan? What about letting go of the fear of not having done enough with your life? Or letting go of fear of death? In this chapter, you are going to learn about the basics of Zen, an ancient philosophy that has enriched the Eastern lives for thousands of years. A concept will help you develop a greater level of self-discipline so that you can achieve your goals. Over the last 20 years, researchers in the self-development field in psychology have been studying the superior psychology health of Zen practitioners. Researchers at Penn State University have spent the last 10 years analyzing the effects of Zen practices. They have concluded that adding Zen practices such as meditation to your daily routine can reduce stress, help you make better decisions, and induce feelings of calm. Zen Buddhists hold a reservoir of wisdom about accomplishing goals, overcoming fear, and delaying gratification. All of these, all of these actions provide a powerful foundation for self-discipline. Zen is not a religion; it is regarded as life experience based on the teachings of Buddha. Satori is a Japanese term similar to Zen, meaning flash of inspiration or first showing. To experience Zen, you must live in the present and have a deep belief that everything in the world is connected. To get a better understanding of Zen, gaining some insight into the life of Buddha will help. The life of Buddha. Thousands of years ago, Buddha started to spread the observation and teaching that led to his enlightenment. His focus was on two main concepts. The first was that it was a natural part of human life to experience suffering. The second was that in most cases we were responsible for suffering we endure. Buddha departed from his life of luxury to get a better understanding of the world he was living in. He wanted to dig deeper into the concept of existence. He found that the majority of people were not happy. He eventually concluded that if we were going to reach the point where we believe that life has meaning, we must let go of self. We must let go of the idea that the world consists of I and you, and accept that everything is interconnected. Once we have achieved this level of insight, the cares of this world, such as acquiring material possessions and social status, will no longer concern us. We can then begin to lead a much more balanced life by putting all our energy into more development. We will also free ourselves from unnecessary suffering by relinquishing the idea that external events can make us happy. Living in the present moment. Buddhists believe that we should live in the present moment, and the past is nothing but a set of interpretations and memories. We have not yet into the future, and so worrying and obsessing that things should turn out a certain way will only lead to unnecessary suffering. Next up are some examples from everyday life to help you put into context. Let's look at the issue of self-identity. Zen teaches us that the rigid ideas that we hold about who we are individuals is self-limiting and keeps us bound to destructive behavior patterns. The first time I started reading about Zen, it dawned on me that the self-image I held was that of a higher achiever. you will understand that it is a very difficult image to live up and to live up to and can wreak havoc on your mental health. When your life is spent being told by parents and teachers that you are intelligent and you're encouraged to keep on getting good grades, success becomes the main focus in your life. This starts from childhood and you carry the same mentality into adulthood. An immense amount of pressure is placed on you and you risk experience burnout and stress. You also become petrified of failure because you don't want to disappoint the people who are expecting you to succeed. Wow. When you then begin working tirelessly every minute of the day to gain qualification that you really don't care too much about. Each time you get a new qualification or accolade, does it give you a permanent happiness? No. So what's the point? If you if you do end up falling, if you do up if you do end up failing at something, your self-image is totally destroyed because all you have heard your entire life is that you are going to be successful. Oh, this is beautiful. For high achievers, failure is a sign that you are no longer have control over your life, and no one wants to feel as if their life is out of control. Zen philosophy and self-discipline. I finished that. Okay. Zen philosophy and self-discipline. So why will incorporating Zen principles into your life help you master self-discipline? First, you will accept that. Right. Thank y'all for again tapping in, subscribing to the channel. Go ahead and thumbs it up, heart it up. Doesn't matter. It's all love. We talked about PTSD. We also talked about self-care, and we also read from the power of discipline. So thank you for again tapping in. If I got any questions, concerns, please hit my inbox up. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and follow Dionne's life as well. We a power couple, y'all. We love each other. We going to pass the moon and not coming back, you know. So that's a great thing, great feeling. We feeling good this morning, this day rather.
And you can tell them too, like you said, they got questions.
Got
Or
questions?
anything, put it in the inbox, but put it in the comments.
Put it in the
That
comments.
way you can read them, and then when you go live again, y'all can discuss.
Yeah, we can discuss. There you go, y'all. That go to Chief, you know. Chief said got 5 o'clock stretch. So, all right. Take care. Stay disciplined, y'all. Peace.